Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this amazing 2020 BMW X3M. This is the high performance version of their X3 compact crossover. Already a great vehicle, but with the M treatment, this thing is one serious performance machine. Probably one of the fastest SUVs in this class. It has a twin turbo inline 6, that wonderful, amazing inline 6 that we all have come to love from BMW. It pumps out 473 horsepower. If that is not enough power for you, they do make a higher performance version, a competition, which is 500 horsepower. But I think for most people, 473 horsepower in this relatively small vehicle is plenty of power, very quick, and you have with the M package, you have a level of adjustability that few other vehicles have. You can tune the speed of how fast the transmission shifts. You can tune the suspension dampers. You can tune the steering. You can tune how much output the engine makes. It's actually a little confusing and maybe a little overwhelming, but they do have these M buttons, and I could be wrong, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if there are specific presets that you like, you have M1 and M2, so you can set all the presets, the dampers, how fast the transmission shifts, all that stuff, and you can have a quick kind of like a preset. So you hit M1 and M2 and it'll go to those preset adjustabilities that you program in there. Heated steering wheel, heated seats, nice big navigation screen. We also have a rear parking camera. Let's see, there we go. Nice crisp display, of course. And then here's the original build sheet on it, original window sticker. MSRP was $75,345. This one only has 15,726 miles. It's a one-owner clean Carfax vehicle from the West Coast. This has a lot of standard equipment. It does have the optional executive package that was $3,900. The executive package gives you heated steering wheel, rear manual sunshades for the windows, front and rear heated seats, parking assistance plus, a heads-up display, wireless charging, gesture control, and a rear view camera. And this beautiful shade of Toronto red metallic was a premium of $550. Then you have a lot of standard equipment, 20-inch double spoke wheels, space-saving spare, panoramic roof, rear seat back adjustment, lumbar support, active driving assistant, adaptive full LED lights, Apple CarPlay compatibility, Wi-Fi hotspot, navigation, Harman Kardon surround sound system. So of course you get a lot of presets, and of course we can print you out a copy or email you one if you want to peruse it yourself. Beautiful leather interior, big panoramic roof as we mentioned. You have a sunshade to dim things down if it gets too bright. And the gesture control they're talking about is for the infotainment system. I haven't really mastered it, but basically once you master it, you can actually make hand gestures, and you can have different menus and stuff pop up on the navigation system without hitting buttons, if I understand correctly. I haven't used it before, but that's what I've read in my research. And if you want to research this a little bit more, Car and Driver has a great archived review of the 2020 X3M. Of course, there's M badges throughout. You can see you can adjust the steering, the dampers. You have buttons here. Oh, you can also tune the exhaust, the way the exhaust sounds. Here you can press this button for different cameras to show up. Actually, it looks like it just pulls up the rear camera. I guess you have to put it in reverse for the top view camera. A nice leather up steering wheel, big digital speedometer right there, and I think it will change displays depending on the different drive modes that you select on this one. This button here, you can use this to control of the speed of the shifting, if I remember correctly. The suspension dampers, you have Sport, Sport Plus, and Comfort, and I'm sure you have those settings for like the steering and other necessities. Really an eye-catching color. It already has the tinted windows. I think most people would want to get this vehicle tinted. And as you can imagine, with only 15,000 miles, it's in pretty much near new condition, hardly a mark on it. If you're having a hard time finding one of these, live in a different part of the country, of course we can get this shipped pretty much anywhere in the United States. Contact us for more details. And we also have our mobile delivery service, so that's a free service. We can deliver this up to 250, sometimes 300 miles. And usually we can get to you within 24 to 48 hours. contact us for more information about our mobile delivery service. And the nice thing about being a crossover SUV, it's a very practical vehicle to live with every day. You have, you know, high performance, you know, almost, I wouldn't say exotic level car performance, but pretty close to exotic sports car levels of performance with a practical, you know, sport utility vehicle with cargo and seating for 4 people comfortably, maybe 5 in a pinch, rear heated seats. Interior space is actually not too bad. I had this front seat adjusted for my height. I'm 6'2", and I have plenty of legroom, headroom back here. Definitely impressive amount of space. And the nice thing about the X3, it's a little bit smaller and nimbler than the X5. We had an X5M not too long ago, 2017, great car, but definitely a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger than the X3. So if you want something a little smaller, a little nimbler than the X5, the X3 is definitely a great one to consider. And of course, there's that amazing 470, I think it's 473 horsepower to be exact, twin turbo inline 6. BMW is the master of the inline 6 engine. So smooth, so powerful, sounds amazing, and lots of great sports car hardware. As far as I know, it's got the rear differential, same transmission as the X5M variant, so really is an amazing car. And when I did the Car and Driver X3, well, not the Car and Driver X3M road test, they said they took this one on the racetrack and it was absolutely annihilating on the racetrack. They were surprised how an SUV could perform like that. It really was an amazing performance machine. They said that it's actually kind of overkill, because they said that most people who buy this car, they're not going to use it to its full potential on the racetrack, but that's what BMW wanted to do. So there you have it. And of course, if that's what you're looking for, it's a dream come true. Now that being said, let's take it for a spin. All right, here we go. We're taking this 2020 BMW X3M out for a spin. I've driven it around town, but I've never had a chance to take it on the highway and feel its full acceleration, that full 473 horsepower. So I guess we'll discover together. Hopefully you won't see a look of disappointment on my face. A lot of adjustability with this vehicle. If you don't like to read up on vehicles, you don't like to, if you're not the type of person who gets a new car and likes to read the owner's manual from cover to cover, this might not be the car for you, because there's a lot to cover on it, or at least go on YouTube. This is not a type of vehicle to just hop in and just start driving. If you want to explore this vehicle's full potential, you want to see all the different settings on it, you really need to read about it and learn what all the buttons and stuff do, me included. So you can adjust the dampers. So there's comfort, sport, and sport plus. You can definitely feel a difference when you put it in sport and sport plus. The dampers firm up, the ride gets a little bit more bouncy, but of course it's going to improve handling. Then the steering, you have comfort, sport, and sport plus. So that's going to change the steering effort. Obviously in sport mode it's going to be a little bit sharper. And then you can adjust the exhaust. So you have so I guess you just have 2 settings for the exhaust. You have sport and non-sport mode. So the exhaust is in sport mode, so maybe I'll roll down the windows a little bit. I won't roll down the window. The camera's mounted on. I made that mistake already. So I got the exhaust in sport mode. So definitely a little bit, definitely makes a decent amount of noise in sport mode. You can hear that acceleration. You can hear that exhaust. And now I'll put it in regular mode. And it's not a huge difference, but it's definitely a little bit quieter. Let me roll the windows back up again. And as far as the 8-speed automatic transmission goes, you can use the steering wheel paddle shifters. You can completely take control of the gear changes if you want, just like the the DCTs and stuff and some of the other older M products. Or like I have it, I just have it in regular drive mode, and it'll just change the gears for me, just like a regular automatic transmission. All right, got a green light, so let's see how this baby accelerates. disappointed. Just joking. Not disappointed at all. This thing just absolutely takes off, as you can expect with 473 horsepower. And then you have a great all-wheel drive system that you know, does a really good job directing the torque to the front and rear wheels depending on where power is needed. And top gear acceleration is pretty good too at 50 miles an hour. Just step on the gas and this thing takes right up, takes right off. And that HP automatic obviously makes a big difference, so you have a little bit more of a wider selection of gears for that driving situation. And really nice composed handling. I love the feel of the steering. That's one thing that BMW nails, is you can probably ridicule BMW for other things, but you can't ridicule them for steering feel. As far as production, luxury performance cars, as far as how the steering feels, the handling, BMW, they have that pretty much down to a science. It handles wonderfully. It's such a nice, beautiful steering wheel. I love the contrast stitching they have in the steering wheel in the M colors. Has a little bit of leather and stitching on the steering wheel. It feels nice, has a nice big thick rim. It's leather wrapped, it feels wonderful in your hands, and then you have a nice leather wrapped dashboard with contrast stitching. I don't know if it's the real leather, but it does feel convincingly real. I don't know if it really matters if it's real or not. I guess it's really about how it feels and looks, right? But aside from that, that's our quick little spin in this X3M. Maybe you can come in and take it for a spin for yourself and see what you think. I think you'll be absolutely impressed. Really is an amazing machine. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. I don't know if you're watching this video just for information in general on the X3, or if you're thinking about purchasing this one. But again, thanks so much for watching, and maybe one of these days we'll see you in our store. Have a great day, and see you soon.